Hey there, grandparents. We've been talking about health all month, and we mentioned earlier gardening with our grands. Well, let's talk about that a little more in detail today because it's a great activity and it's one that has multiple benefits. Not only are we doing something outside with the grands, but we are creating some healthy produce for our families to enjoy. But let's talk about planning and doing some pre-planning because I will tell you, I have not been a gardener myself. I have always wanted to. My dad used to garden a lot and he and my mom would can all the produce. It was wonderful. I've done canning, but I've not actually done the growing. Now, I have a son who he has gotten into that some and done some gardening. But we've talked more and more about doing a larger garden and doing it as a family. So that's kind of on our agenda for this summer. And I'm going to start small at my house with a, let's see, what's it called? A veg trug. And if you look them up on gardeners.com, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's container gardening. And that's going to be adequate for my house this year because we're in some transition time. But here are some thoughts on prepping to do that. If you haven't been doing it regularly with your grands, let's do some pre-planning together. And I would say diagram out where you're going to garden in your backyard, or if you're going to have containers, get the materials gathered up, figure out what you're going to produce, put in your garden, and then how you're going to plant it. I know that plants require certain levels of water, they require certain amounts of sunshine. Some of that needs a little attention to detail up front or you won't be successful. A good materials list, a seeds list. I've started gathering seeds for the summer because I know I want to plant certain things that I really enjoy. And tools, what will you need as far as tools? And that'll vary depending on whether you're doing container gardening or actually digging up a part of your backyard and tilling the ground and getting it ready, getting the soil ready for gardening. I want to share a story with you, and this is the truth, okay? Why is this an important step with kids? Kids are not born knowing how to care for small animals or plants. They can be rough. They forget to take care of them. They forget that the dog is hungry or the cat needs water or the cat box needs to be changed or that the garden needs to be watered. I know when I was in grade school, a neighbor hired me to go water their garden. And I'll tell you what, folks, I had no clue how much a garden needed, how often, what time of day, and I'm pretty sure his garden was not in very good shape that summer because a very inexperienced young kid had no clue what to do other than turn the hose on and didn't know how long or when was best to turn it on. So we need to prep ahead of time and teach the children about how to care for plants. And I want to share something with you that one of our young ladies shared with me today, and I'm so excited to dig into this, and we can thank Chloe for this, but it's an app on your smartphone. It's called Blossoms, and it talks about every kind of plant, vegetable, flower, etc., that you might want as a house plant or in your garden, and it tells you about the care it needs, how much water, how much sunlight, how frequently, everything you'll need to know to have a successful growth period with whatever plant you're putting into your garden. So I'm going to be exploring that. I would suggest you look at it with your grandchildren, and as you decide what you might plant in a garden this year or in a container, this would be a great tool so that it really is a success. And at the end of the growing season, your sweet little grands can help you harvest and enjoy the harvest from your garden experience. Take care, my friends, and be grand.